I think JJ Abrams did that just to shake it up a little bit. I mean, I don't think it is organically evolving report. I think it was, hey, this would be something that wouldn't be ready for. So, I mean, this is my guess. I don't have any inside information. That's what I think. He said, it is a shock, and I don't think it feels like it's something that you could expect.
Nichelle, what was your
Gene Roddenberry originally did not want to write was not writing a science fiction film. He wanted to write about the human condition between men and women of all races that reflect America and reflect outward the world, and thereby have high drama. So when I went to interview for the role before Paramount and NBC knew I was going to be on, the role had not been written, and I read a scene that they asked me to read that was 3 characters, somebody named Kirk, somebody named Bones, and somebody named Spock. And they asked me if I would read for this role of the person named Spock. And I said, fine, because it was a long scene and he had a big part. And I thought this was the role. I said, tell me something about this character. What is she like? And they looked at me like I was crazy and said, Spock is not a she, Spock is a he. We just haven't written your role yet, but we can see from here. And I said, well, tell me, could she be a woman? And they said, yes, but Leonard Nimoy was not like it. And so I said, well, tell me something about the character, and I'll read as though I'm reading for the character. Make a long story short, I got the role. But I took my reading from what they told me Spock was about. In developing that character, and I told Gene Roddenberry about it when he decided on the book I was reading, which was a treatise on Africa called Uhuru. He said he wanted to use that, but I said, why don't we do an alliteration on it, because he said it was too harsh. And I said, make it Uhura. And he said, you named your character, it belongs to you. And I set forth then, he said, and you come from the United States of Africa, it's just decided. And I decided then, from the character that I read, that I wanted to be very much like that character. But in a feminine way. And Gene said, and I was sharing this with George the other day, when I told him that I thought of Spock as my mentor, because if you remember, Uhura was the only one he was able to teach the Vulcan lyre to. And she sang and spoofed on Spock. Now, you could have never had a love scene in '63 between Uhura and Spock. But there were several hints, and Gene was indeed kind of beginning to follow that. And he said he wanted to do episodes, if we had gone past the 3rd year, because this was about the 3rd year we were talking, he wanted to do episodes that got into all of the stars' light, so that you had not 1 star, 2 stars, and supporting cast, which we really are not. But that was the essence of that. And JJ was a big Star Trek fan. And he invited me to lunch, and I told him about my creating the character. Whether he got, and why, my relationship with Spock. Whether he got that idea from there, I don't know. If he took it and ran with it and thought, wow. And having said that, he might very well have then said exactly where, been coming from exactly where Walter really realized it. That would have you all sitting here going, what was that? When did that happen? So it shocked me a little bit, but
It was a fun part. We looked at it from Riverside, of course. Captain Kirk is supposed to be born here. They had him alternate reality, obviously, born in outer space.
Yes.
But this was the first movie that Riverside's actually been named in. They had to go to the Riverside shipyard. It was
but I myself love the movie.
Okay, we're on to this side of the room.